Well, good evening and welcome to this edition of the EPL and Bermudians Overseas Football Show here on IslandStats.com. I'm your host, Earl Baston. Joining me is none other than co-host Jason Juggling J. Ford, as well as co-host Antoine Augustus. Good evening, gentlemen. How are you?
Good evening, guys.
Well, let me just run down the results from English Premier Division this past weekend. As we know, it was Newcastle United 1, Bournemouth 4, Brentford 0, Liverpool 2, Leicester City 0, Fulham 2, West Ham United 2, Crystal Palace 2, Arsenal 2, Aston Villa 2, Everton 3, Tottenham 2, Manchester United 1, Brighton Hove Albion 3, Nottingham Forest 3, Southampton 2, Ipswich Town 0, Manchester City 6, Chelsea 3, Wolverhampton Wanderers 1. Well, gentlemen, obviously there's been some developments in the Premier Division. We look at that Liverpool-Brentford game. Brentford was able to hold Liverpool out for somewhat 90 minutes, and then in stoppage time, had those two goals scored against, and the talk is that's what champions do. But there's still a lot of football. We keep saying there's still a lot of football to be played. These guys got to play a lot of games. But looking at that, Juggler, Liverpool scoring so late. That was their first win in 2025. They had played a few games and not had a victory. But now they go to Brentford. Not an easy place to play, but come out with 3 points.
Yeah, it just shows the depth of Liverpool's bench, right? I mean, when you look at, the teams that separate themselves from middle of the table to top tier is number one, the depth of the team. But number two, also that comes with the depth of your team. The depth of your team is also the fitness levels of your players at that time, where you can fully concentrate and stay locked in, even though it's a good game, but stay locked in for 90 plus minutes. We see it locally, Antoine. We see it locally. We laugh up in the booth sometimes because we expect a really decent game up to about the 60th minute. After that, 65, 60. After that, it's anybody's game whose legs are still there, right? Mm-hmm. And what even you look at even in today's match, the Chelsea and Wolves played Wolves are in the game.
Yeah.
In the game, but you get that one goal, and then next thing you know, wop.
Yeah.
And we saw that happen for a few scores over the weekend. It's just some madness for over 10, 15, 20-minute period. And if you look at the timing when that happened, we're probably looking at 60 minutes onwards.
Right.
Yeah.
A team like Brentford, Antoine, they've been, up and down all season. You look at them, they 11th in the standings, 8 wins, 10 losses, where the 10th loss was on Saturday. But a team like Brentford able to hold out for so long against a team like Liverpool. Your thoughts on their performance?
I think their performance was actually good. I was watching that game on my break on Saturday, and we was praying that they would hold out. It was just a lucky. That first goal that what's his name scored, it just was like bang, 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 and then he just landed on his foot and he just kicked it in the goal. The Saka one, yes, the Saka one was a beaut. But the first one, it was just a lucky. The ball just fell at the penalty spot and he kicked it. Just like Juggling said, I don't even think that they was tired. Like I said, it was just the ball just dropped, and somebody was there from Liverpool to put in the back of the net. But they're a good team, Still don't sleep on them.
Yeah.
Still don't sleep on them.
Definitely.
But it was a good game. Honestly, really, really exciting. Like it had me on edge of my seat. Like, I'm like, do I have to go back to work? But no, it was a good game to enjoy to watch.
Sure. Before we go any further, let me just let our viewers know that the president of the Bermuda Football Association, Mr. Mark Wade, will be joining us at the bottom of the hour. At the top of the hour to talk about the under-17 girls who began their training camp in Miami on Saturday and will then head later down, as we heard from the head coach last week or week before last. Last week. They will then head down to Puerto Rico for the World Cup qualifiers. We're also going to be talking to Mr. Wade about the final preparations for the upcoming CONCACAF tournament that we will be hosting here, the under-17 boys one, as well as the Triangle friendly tour that will take place at the later part of February. So we'll get updates on those three things internationally plus other things. But let's turn our attention back to the EPL. Arsenal cruising, and the bottom fell out. Arteta. There's been a lot of talk about a lot. Has he taken Arsenal as far as he can take them, Juggler?
I wouldn't say that. You know, once again, when you are missing part of your best player, you take your best player at any team, you're going to suffer, right? And not only suffer when you talk about stats and stuff, but also suffer with confidence.
Yeah.
And to take someone like Saka out, we saw what happened when Gabriel. I mean, Gabriel was out a couple of years ago, right? We saw he stayed at Arsenal then. So, I won't say that. I mean, when you hear the coaches' comments after the games, you know, it sometimes it just gets hilarious.
Yeah.
One game you're blaming the ball, next game you're blaming this. Well, okay, if you're blaming the ball, both teams played with it, so let's squash that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Definitely, if you had a ball and I had a different ball,
so when they got another ball.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure somebody, you know. But in saying that, you hear these things, and you understand because the upset.
Yeah,
they tell you the worst time to speak to the media is directly after the game, and the Premier is almost
it's mandatory
to talk. And they want that because they get that for ratings. But in saying Arteta, no, I just think that, like I said, you know, every team's going to go through a rough patch. It's just honest. Players will go slip in and out of form. You know, Kai Havertz. Right. I heard now once again. I was actually on the road with the runners this weekend, but I heard that Kai Havertz had a halfway decent game, you know, over the weekend. Now, compared to the other few weeks, they were calling for his head.
Yeah. Aston Villa, Anton, what's your thoughts on them? I mean, to come back against a team at Arsenal too.
Yeah, honestly, like Jogner said before, in the other game, we talked about the Liverpool 60th minute. What happened? Aston Villa scored in the 60th minute and the 68th minute, you know, and then it was just, that was it. They got tired, I believe, you know. They played on Saturday and they played on Tuesday, so the rotation, the depth of the teams, you know, I guess the legs got tired. But Arsenal did, you know, they was coming out pretty strong, but it's just they got tired. Honestly,
did you see the supposedly winner that was ruled out for handball?
Yes, I was trying. Actually, I was trying to.
We got a guy with the whistle in his mouth.
I was trying to read what, because I think that the comments of
the official, because I saw it on Referee Watch this morning.
Yes,
and they cleared it up.
Yes,
so the official statement is whenever a ball, if I might say it wrong, but whenever a ball is redirected in the goal by the hand or arm, it will be reviewed, and it most of the time is deemed a handball.
Yeah, handball, exactly.
Yeah.
I honestly,
because he moved his arm, it weren't like the ball hit him. He hit the ball, turning his body.
Yeah, it's just like the same thing with United and Arsenal actually last time.
Yeah, they did mention that. They did mention that.
It's the similar thing, but it's just in reverse. This time, and now it's an attacker and not a defender. So
yeah, they had quite a few reviews this morning on Referee Watch. But I happened to be sitting here watching that, and a mate of mine was here as well, and I said to him, "Wonder if they had a striker watch, or a defender watch, or a midfielder watch, the amount of mistakes they make. How long would that program be on for?"
I say that in any sport, right?
Yeah. It's funny how they could sit there and judge somebody who's assigned to make a decision with whatever rules at the peril at the beginning, but then you turn around and you criticize them. But whatever. I guess that's what they get paid for.
Yeah, I honestly I can't as a referee, former referee, whatever you want to call me. It's hard for me to watch a game sometimes because 9 times out of 10, just like a player or coach, the player's watching his position. A coach is watching the format of the game, like 4-3-2, 4 whatever, 3-4-5. A referee, former referee, whatever you want to call me, is watching the referee, critiquing the referee. I that's all I gotta say. Honestly, that's all I gotta say.
Yeah. Juggler, Forrest brought back down to earth. That was a whopping 4-1.
Nah. You expect that they gotta get come on, the run that being the one. The run that got 44 points, man, after 22 games, a plus 11 goal difference. Come on, man. They did the fourth loss. Yeah, I'm all right.
Actually, no, Forrest won. They
won 3-2. Yeah,
they won 3-2. Yeah,
that's what I
tell you. As much as the people have been crying about the Manchester United being in 13th and West Ham in 14th, but to see who's in 15th, man, is that coach gonna last?
Well, I mean that another program that was on today on Sky had a former Tottenham player on there, and he started criticizing the players for the amount of money that they get paid and how they can't do a job regardless of the injuries. And he went through this whole, I think he was more emotional than anything else. But like you said about Arteta, you start losing crucial players in crucial positions, or you're going to suffer.
Mm-hmm.
And that's been Tottenham's problem all season. They just got Richarlison back after 2 months. He scored and was taken off with a hamstring injury 2 months ago.
Yeah. When you look at those, go up, like I said, go as far as Brentford, right? Brentford, Crystal Palace, United, West Ham, Tottenham, and now I'm going to throw in Everton.
Right.
Week to week, you can flip a coin.
Yeah, well, yes.
Yeah. You can flip a coin.
Yeah.
Because you don't know what team's going to show up on any day.
Right.
No, you're absolutely right.
And sometimes it looks comical with the mistakes they're making out of the back or goalkeeper fumbles. We saw quite a few of them this weekend, right?
Yeah.
It's like, and Earl, we guys remember we had this conversation early in the season about, playing out of the back when you ain't got people that are qualified to play.
Right. Yeah.
I want to
still training and getting caught out. Oh my gracious!
I would love to see what that stats look like. How many goals that has led to this year?
Oh, man, oh man! Probably more than half the goals this season, man.
It was a lot this weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah. That boy got his hat trick off of trying to play short. Get on 2-1. Ain't no time left. And you're playing it short out of the. Come on, man. Come on, man. I'm sitting there saying, what am I watching? But that's how the coach wants them to play, and that's what they do. So any bad touch, it's over. You're in trouble. You know, backpedaling.
I want to go back to Tottenham's coach, right? And very similar to United's coach, right? But most coaches, I won't say most coaches, but most coaches have an idea of they have a particular style that's made them successful, especially when they're sought after.
Yes.
The team brings him in, and he wants to institute his style. Even though he might not have all the players at his disposal to get over, but how long? We had this conversation before. How long do you give that coach? Because when you're talking about these teams like Tottenham and United, and they're used to being in the top four, top five at least, right? You see them hovering down at 14, 15, and they're closer to the relegation zone than anything.
Yeah.
How long do you stick with a coach who's still trying to get over his style of play?
I don't think that's a good question, but I really think you got to wait till at least a year.
I feel that way, but that's
nowadays the people don't have the patience for that. They start calling out the chairman's name and camping outside the chairman's house.
No,
their stadium's fairly new too, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. EPL/NFL stadium.
Yeah, definitely. Well, let's take our first commercial break. When we come back, the team I was referring to, and I guess you guys followed me, was Newcastle. We'll talk about them. They've been on a roll, but then on Saturday, things didn't go their way. But we're going to take this commercial break and be right back.
Time to lace up. The Butterfield in Vallis annual 5K run walk is back on Sunday, January 26th at our Woodlands Road location. Whether you're springing for glory, jogging for fun, or power walking like you're late for lunch, this event is for you. With prizes for top finishers and exciting draw prizes, there's something for everyone. And here's the best part. Proceeds from the event will support Dementia Bermuda, so every step you take makes a difference. Your favorite brands, Coca-Cola, Kraft Heinz, Del Monte, Dannon, Smuckers, Planters, Carolina, and more are making it all possible. Sign up today at racedayworld.com. And don't forget to follow Butterfield and Vallis on social media or visit our website for all the details. The Butterfield and Vallis 5K. It's fun, fitness, and prizes at Woodlands Road. Don't wait or you'll be running to sign up at the last minute.
Kick off the new year with the hydration you need to keep moving. Recover 180 is organic hydration designed for today's athlete, packed with electrolytes and essential nutrients to fuel your active lifestyle. Whether you're hitting the gym, the field, or just staying refreshed, Recover 180 is your go-to recovery drink. Start your year strong with Recover 180. Lindo's, why go anyplace else?
Beneath the cloud blue sky, where the ocean meets the land, and the long-tails fly in Bermuda. Our hearts belong to this beautiful island. As an island, we are strong, proudly Bermudian. In every single way, from the sunrise to the sunset, and every single day for over 135 years. It's been clear, Lady Silence, proudly Bermudian. Bringing us near. Cause we are proudly Bermudian. Digital is proudly Bermudian. Digital is proudly Bermudian.
And welcome. We talked about all these other teams, but one of the hottest teams in the Premier Division leading up to this weekend was Newcastle United. Had the hottest striker, but then they turned around and lost 4-1. Big loss for them. Antoine, looking at Isaac scoring goals every game, They're riding his wave, but Saturday was just not their day.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't, and it was at Newcastle too.
Yeah.
At St. James's Park. Well, honestly, I feel like the team that they face,
Bournemouth.
Yes, Bournemouth. Two teams actually that was coming in hot. For me, Bournemouth, they're coming in. They was coming in hot too. So I honestly don't know. I don't know, because they drew to Chelsea, they beat Everton. Drew to Fulham. So they were coming in with okay. So I guess, like what we always say, any given Sunday. Any given Sunday. That's the great thing about the EPL is any given weekend, any given Sunday, you're gonna lose, you're gonna win.
Yeah. But Juggler, a team like Bournemouth go to Newcastle. They're right behind them in the standings, but crawl up behind them in the standings after the win.
Mm-hmm.
But you blow them away on the home pitch where they've been so deadly all season.
Yeah, but you've got guys in Bournemouth. A lot of people don't talk about them, but they are game changers, right? You have Clive, who's definitely a game changer, right? When he's on, and it's amazing how much space he gets when sometimes like, well, who's supposed to be marking him? And he's able to control the game, getting forward and also in his defensive duties too. So, when you have these type of players on, like you said, Antoine said, any given Sunday, if the guy is on, man, it's hard because, like I said, you just need the opportunity and space, and these guys are putting them away. So, I mean, we talked about how Newcastle's been playing, but they have a core guys, especially in the midfield, and even the strikers going forward. They're pretty solid. Defensively, they haven't, they've still given up 26 goals, right?
Yeah,
so it's not like it's been all got a tight defense,
right.
But they have scored 38, so that's what's actually Now, if you look at Bournemouth, they have scored 36 and they've given up 26. So that's what probably made it more surprising that that score line was 4-1 instead of 2-1 per se.
Right.
And
obviously, good.
No, I'm saying it. And Newcastle played on Wednesday to turn around to play on Saturday. That's Thursday, Friday, and 2 days, 48 hours to get ready. They probably didn't train. They didn't train on the Thursday, so they only had training on Friday, and to turn around and play, to play again.
That's what they get paid the big bucks for.
Yes.
Well, I'm gonna say this because we hear that all the time, right? But you get paid what's relevant to the market, right? If you take the TV deals out of this, you think they'll get paid this money?
Oh no.
All right, so that's relevant to the market, the TV market, right? Obviously, when you look at these guys now, or Harlan, his new deal he got, right? These guys getting £500 a week, So you're expecting him to score every single time against the ball?
He better. But the reality is he won't. The reality is he will not.
He get paid because guess what? Man City's good. Make so much money off of him packing his stadium. If he comes close to scoring 20 goals, they know they're gonna be on top or close to the top. So that's where the money comes in.
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard. I mean, because we know how many times guys have a decent World Cup and they pick up a contract right after the World Cup. Related contract.
Yeah.
Right.
Your own show for the World Cup.
Right.
Yeah.
And they're not able to produce after that, right? Or you're tired after the World Cup.
Yeah.
It's two different. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Bournemouth, they played on Tuesday. So they had Wednesday and Thursday and Friday. So,
and that's where I go back to depth, right? Because if you're a top team, you're going to play every 3 days.
Yes. Because of Europe, because of the cup that you'll stay in.
You're gonna play every 3 days.
Yeah. So your training sessions almost like games as well because you have to be high intensity all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Correct. And I think that's been the problem with Manchester United. Amarin's, when he came in, they was just starting the December craziness schedule. So he didn't Manchester United, he's only had like at least altogether like 3 weeks of training, not even that, 2 weeks of training. You know,
Rashford in your team and your luck will change.
Well, you know what? I mean, Earl, you're laughing, but you know what? That's an extra body once again with a rotation that's needed in the front line. Right?
Yeah.
And sometimes we talk, like I said, you're down a few guys. As we're talking about, you know, the faces of suspensions or suspensions, yellow cards, lack of a left back. We're talking about trying to go into the market and get this guy now in transition. I mean, transfer market. They haven't had a left back. Malacia's, how many times he's played in the last 18 months? He came here for fee. So, but once again, and then you got a player who's suspended or being overlooked. You know, so it is what it is. But you can go through almost all the teams who are probably in the same grouping, right? And find these same type of stories where injuries or lack of depth is where they are. They just, hey, we're going to go with what we go. And also, I'm wondering now, too, because of the science of the football science now that a lot of these teams have now, and I see it in other sports, how much are the doctors and the training, the medical staff are dictating to the coaches or how much these players are available?
But you hear coaches in the press conferences when the doctor says he's available, then we could use him until the doctor gives us the approval. Then because it's no longer the coach just says, okay, I'll see how he is in training. No, they medically, because of insurance, because of all this other stuff,
because of money.
Yeah, it's a money making thing. You tell me play and I'm injured and I get further injured and I can't play for X amount of time, hey, look, club, you got to take care of me.
Yeah, yeah. What happens
in the week for you, Earl?
Sorry?
What was the surprise scoreline of the week for you?
The surprise score? Oh, the Everton Tottenham.
Okay.
That really shocked me. Everton, obviously, with the new coach and Tottenham struggling, but I thought Tottenham would have had a little more firepower. But then again, one of the guys that's been scoring goals for him got injured in training.
Yeah.
So another body lost, and he's out for a few weeks. So more headaches for the coach. But I was a bit surprised at that result. Which one was for you?
No, that was it for me. Surprisingly enough, and I say surprisingly enough because you look at a team like Tottenham. Just looking at the you would have never thought that they have lost less games than Everton has lost less games than Tottenham.
Yeah.
Tottenham's lost 12 games. But when you look at Everton's lost 9, I'm like, hold on, this doesn't seem right.
Right.
I mean, Everton, it's
and Tottenham's lost 4 of the last 5 league games.
Yeah, they're going through a rough period.
Yeah. Thank God, many would say, thank God they got 24 already.
I'm telling you, this is not a spoiler. This is not a prediction. This is a spoiler. I'm telling you now. What's today? The 20th, January 20th, 2025. Tottenham will win the League Cup.
Huh?
Tottenham will win the League Cup.
What year?
This one. Tottenham will win the League Cup. Manchester United will win the FA Cup. And they both will be in Europe. They both will be in Europe this year.
Hey, Earl, Antoine, did you just finish reffing the game or something? We should be interviewing you right now.
Lack of oxygen. What we're gonna do, gentlemen, we're gonna take our second commercial break, and when we come back, we're gonna be joined by the president of the Bermuda Football Association, Mr. Mark Wade. We'll be right back.
Over the pink sands, beneath the cloud blue sky, where the ocean meets the land, and the long-tails fly in Bermuda. Our hearts belong to this beautiful island. As an island, we are strong, proudly Bermudian. In every single way, from the sunrise to the sunset, and every single day for over 135 years. It's been clear. This silence proudly Bermudian, bringing us near. Cause we are proudly Bermudian. This silence proudly Bermudian. This silence proudly Bermudian.
Putting down the weapons.
You seeing this?
This year, Lindo's is making it easier than ever to shop your weight with our brand new Drop It website coming to you on January 6th. Fresh groceries, convenient delivery, and now an upgraded online shopping experience. Whether you're planning meals or restocking your pantry, enjoy fast, reliable service wherever you are on the island. Lindo's, why go anyplace else?
And welcome back. And we welcome in Mr. Mark Wade, the president of the Bermuda Football Association. Good evening, Mr. Wade. How are you?
Hey, good evening. Good evening to Antoine and Mr. Jason. How's things?
Hey,
Everything is everything. Well, the under-17 young ladies have departed for a training camp in Florida, and then we'll eventually head down to Puerto Rico for the World Cup qualifiers. Your thoughts on just how things are working out for them thus far?
So far so good. All of the logistics have fallen into place. If all the staff in the office kind of making sure that everything runs smoothly. So they are now in camp and just doing some training, and I think they have got one or two practice matches before moving on down to Puerto Rico.
Yes. We had the head coach, Mr. Gary Adams, on last week, and he indicated, that they had some practice matches in Florida, and then head down to. So hopefully, this camp will sharpen them right up, and they'll be ready for tournament day. Come the first day of the tournament to jump out. Also, we want to get an update on the under-17 boys tournament that we'll be hosting next month. Preparations for that, how are they going?
Preparations are going very well. We've been in constant contact with the National Sports Center through General Secretary David Sabir and with Craig Tyrrell. So that is all falling into place as well. CONCACAF have dealt with all of the hotels and those sort of things. They've given us the list of staff that will come to run the tournament. We have our local staff geared and prepped and ready to go. So really, I think right now it's really just fine tuning with our team itself and getting the necessary players in Bermuda at the times that the coaches require them to be here, so they can have a bit of time together. They did have a pretty good camp over the Christmas break, but obviously more time together will help them along quite nicely. So that tournament, it's a big one for us. It's always exciting and interesting to be able to host our young people, and they get to play in front of the local crowd. We're looking forward to having a very, very big crowd to support our young people. So telling everybody now, get yourselves geared up. Tickets will be on sale on GPass. So let's let's come out and let's support our young people in Bermuda.
Yeah. And then, of course, just a few weeks after that tournament, or maybe a week after that tournament, we hosted a international triangle tournament here. Once again, Kano coming back with his team, who done extremely well after leaving Bermuda last year during preseason, making it to the finals. So gearing up for that tournament, or that giving our local players an opportunity to showcase in a select team. Let me ask you, who will coach the select team? Because it's not the national team, is it?
So no, it's not the national team, but head coach will be here. So it'll be the full senior man staff. So that coach will fly in, goalkeeper coach will fly in as well as the local based staff. So they'll have a full staff, and they get to have a up close and personal with local players, and there'll probably be one or two, or maybe more, college players who will come over to join the camp. And like I said, the coaching staff get a nice up close personal time with some potential players. I know that they have their eyes on some local based players, so it presents itself with an opportunity, right? Of being able to make the full senior team proper.
Okay. I know Mr. Ford has a few questions because he is asking me questions. So he's got a few questions for you. Go ahead, dear juggler.
Hey, President, man, how's everything, man?
It's good, man.
I'm gonna stick to the administration side of it because you guys, we're a small country and we're always punching above our weight. When it comes to and being in the room with some of the guys who came down and managed the games, international games, having those talks, especially the guy from Guatemala, and to see how many professional leagues they get to choose the players from, right? That's like, wow, we're just trying to get guys come back from other countries. But from administration side, tell us how important those relationships are as far as trying to get sponsorships and also working along with CONCACAF, because to do this tournament, this under 17 tournament, it's gotta be a big number to try to bring all 3 teams in. Man, it's and they're talking about hotels and transportation and food. Man, give us a little bit. How does it all work out?
Sure. So I'll be frank. Football is a relationship-based business, and you have to build these relationships in order to be able to do some of the things that we certainly do. Is even more important in Bermuda because we are a volunteer-based organization, and we're competing against organizations who have full-time staff and professional players, et cetera, et cetera. It's a tough ask. It is something we would not be able to do without the support of FIFA, who are, for lack of a better word, who are our largest sponsor by far. We would not be able to do it with them, but in addition to that, we would not be able to do it with our local base support as well, which is the Bermuda government, Applebee, these types of companies who certainly come on board and assist us, right? A tournament of this scale is huge. It's also a testament to what we're able to accomplish in Bermuda, where CONCACAF take note of what we're able to do here, and certainly they will remember the successful under-20 tournament that we hosted when we hosted the under-20 group for the girls some years ago. So it's relationship based, but it's also performance based. They would not come here if they didn't think Bermuda would be able to put on a good show. So there you go.
Is there? I mean, a ballpark figure or something like this? What it will cost?
A ballpark figure is six figures. Yeah, so I'll stop there at six figures, easy. And it's CONCACAF will, like I said, CONCACAF will cover the hotel. Each team is responsible for its airfare into the country. We have to cover training sites, transportation, match operations. So everything at the National Sports Center we're responsible for, and obviously we do have to provide administrative support to all the CONCACAF staff that will come.
Yeah. Antoine, you have any questions?
Welcome, President. Like you said, the last time we hosted, I know, like I've been on the board. Yes, the board. I know the last time we hosted men's or boys tournaments been at least over 20 over years. I'm correct.
Maybe if your memory is better than mine, perhaps it was when Kenny Thompson was the under 17.
Yeah.
Which is interesting because now he's on the senior coaching staff. But I think yes, that was the last time we hosted a boys tournament, and it was under 17. And if I start to remember some of the names, it would have been Keishan Bean, Anton Russell, Robert Richardson, Johnny Ball. Those are the names that come to mind immediately. That would have been a part of that.
Okay.
So yeah, I forgot my other question. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Well, I do have another question. Interesting. Well, I took note right away, Mr. Wade, of the start times for the single games of the triangle tournament that you'll have with including Rhode Island of 7 o'clock. I've been in many conversations when we have single games in Bermuda. Why are we starting them at 9 o'clock, and maybe we could start them at 7:30, possibly 8 o'clock, and there's no other activity at the grounds where these games have been played. Can we look into that? Because we want to try to, I guess, the hope is to bring more families out to watch football. But if we're starting at 9 and finishing at 11, you're only going to get, those of age that's going to watch the game, kind of thing.
Sure. Well, I mean, firstly, I would argue that there's not no other activity at the ground. Sometimes there's training that happens before these matches, and it's also the field operator also has some input on when those games start. So it's also a lot easier if everybody knows what the game times are. So far in advance, you know that if it's a double header, the games are at 7 and 9.
Yes.
If we can,
yes,
it's a single match, it'll be at 8. But like I said, the field operator has some say in when the times of those matches, and we try and work with all of those sort of all of those challenges.
I'm with you on the double header stuff, 7 but again, most of these field operators, if there is a double header, game can start at 7 and a game can start at 9. And generally, we've seen over the last few years single games starting at 9. So that's why I bring it up, because the earlier you start, the earlier you finish, and people might look at it and say, okay, that's an outing, let's go. But it's just that point, and I understand about field operators and so forth. But
sure, but you definitely have to remember that there's training that happens before these matches, in most times, and most field operators want to make sure that their teams can still train, whether it be teams.
Mr. Wade, I'll probably get in trouble for saying this, but there's only about 4 teams training right now.
There are youth teams. There are Corona League teams. A lot of teams that train, sir. So it's not just Premier and First Division teams that we're talking about.
Okay, Mr. Wade. Juggler?
He's talking about real training. Not a kicker bowl like 11 versus 11. Like,
Prez, I know you was definitely encouraged. I was definitely encouraged from the New Year's Day game to see over 1,800 people show up at the cricket club.
Yeah.
I would love to. That was double what we see up at international games. So I'd love to see that type of size crowd come out and support and actually give our home field advantage. But what I do want to ask you, because I did get a comment, question from a parent from the last international games regarding and off the field, but regarding availability for players for autographs for the young kids, because a lot of these young kids were asking for their families to come out, we're asking for the young people to come, and nowadays they want to go and get a picture or they want to get some type of having something more, and they were just saying it wasn't structured. Obviously we're probably a little bit behind when it comes to just getting players available just to, come take these a certain area or something like that. Can something like that be managed for this tournament? Because once again, we're talking about bringing these young people to the games, especially you're talking about at these 7 o'clock times, so they'll be able to come to the games, take advantage of not only for the little ones, but also the players themselves feeling the love back from the community.
Sure. I mean, structured, we could try and do that. But I do know the players make themselves available. You see it at any of our internationals, the players will come up to the fence and you greet family, and there's an opportunity there. And then there's always the opportunity to be outside the home changing room starting with our players. Can we structure it? We can certainly, look into that and see if we can structure it a little bit better where players are a little bit more accessible. I think that's something may be easily done, and I'll pass that on to our marketing team.
Yeah.
Have you ever, the BFA, thinking about bringing back the fans in? I know that was not really the BFA's prize or baby, but what about the BFA trying to bring it back and put it on, put it on the marketing or put on, anybody else's committee to basically, because
we have reached out and tried to encourage anyone really, to do that, and we're willing to sit on and discuss how we can make that a positive venture for somebody who's interested in doing it. It's not something that we, when I say we, the BFA, has the bandwidth to do. When we opened this conversation, we talked about, and I talked about the fact that we're volunteer based, so we don't have the bandwidth to do everything. So we're certainly, open to proposals and ideas of bringing back the fans in.
And so one more thing, I know you guys talked about it some time ago. When because most of the games that's being televised, they show the non-covered bleacher side, and you can tell that nobody's at the stadium, but you can hear everybody. Like, we need honestly, my suggestion is that we need to start putting the camera to face us. If you can get to CONCACAF to face the covered side, because like I said, if I'm not from Bermuda and I just watch the game and I'm like, okay, I heard the stadiums, but there's nobody at the stadium. Like, there's got to be a way that we can solve or resolve that.
And your question is?
How can we do that?
You need a statement. So what's your question?
How can we like sort that out? Like I said, I did say a statement as far as try to get the cameras to face us instead of facing.
I can answer that. For the convenience, you got much better staging on the side where the cameras are put.
So the other thing is that there are standard camera views that CONCACAF have to their broadcasters that they must have. So behind the benches, they would have to add a camera
Yeah.
on the other side, and that discussion is ongoing. We aren't the only country that has that issue.
Yeah. I've watched enough Nations League games over the recent months to see that the only one side has got fans on and the other side is completely empty. So
Sure.
unless you go to the South American places, in our region, it's very difficult to get a.
Yes, most of these smaller countries our size, they have the same issue, and what it will involve is adding another camera, and whether or not CONCACAF want to increase their budget to be able to do that.
Right, because that comes at a cost.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. A big cost. So, Mr. Weir, you did mention that tickets for the under-17 boys tournament will be shortly out. Are they out?
They're not out yet. They will be on G-Pass.
Roughly,
the treasurer is still just finalizing what the cost will be. I do believe there will be $15.
Right.
Flat fee of $15. So just
will the day game fee get you into the night game fee?
Yeah.
Okay. That's added. Yeah. Because there is a big gap in between the two games.
Yes, big gap between the two games. Bermuda plays all of the late games.
Late games, yes.
So yes, there'll be one ticket price, and you can see both games if you wish.
Okay, all right.
One more question I have, actually.
Yeah.
I know, like I said, we're having the triangle tournament, Maine and Rhode Island, and that's Bermuda's select team. Is Bermuda national team will have a practice match before the Nations League game in March? Is that still working out?
There's no FIFA window between then and March.
All right.
So the Rhode Island and Maine Hearts of Pine will serve as a bit of a preparation, because I'm sure Coach will look at some of the players that are in the national team proper. They'll be involved as well.
Okay. All right. Well, Mr. Weir, I want to thank you very much for joining us this evening. We'll keep our ears out and for the ticket sales for the under-17 tournament, and there's also the triangle tournament as well when they go on sale, to help promote those games and ensure that we get the support. I know last year a lot of people that went to the games that with Connor's team were really surprised at the level in which they played at, because I keep saying it that growing up we were taught or told the game in the U.S. is just a kick around, but clearly Rhode Island. So I know more people will be out to see what they're able to put out this time around. Your thoughts on what you saw last year?
Well, I mean, it's professional football proper, right? And football in the U.S. has come along leaps and bounds. I think that is technically a second division team, right?
Right.
The USL is the lower tiers. MLS is the premier division, so to speak, of the US. So it was a great experience to have these players in Bermuda. It's a good advertisement for Bermuda. Come to Bermuda and go home and win a championship.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's going to be really, really good to for the fans to come out and see professional football on our shores. Don't forget that was technically the debut of Harry Twite.
Yes.
He's going on leaps and bounds.
Yes.
A member of a regular member of the senior men's team. So it's a launching pad for new players as well. So if you're a footballer and football purist, you have to be there to see these games.
Yes, indeed. All right, sir. Well, thank you very much.
One question. One. This is EPL too. I want to know about this. He's a Liverpool man. What you tell me about your team? How do you feel about Liverpool? I'm sorry.
It's all right. It's all right.
Tell me about your Liverpool. What you think about the 2-0 this weekend?
Well, I first of all, I'm a Nunez fan. I've always said that if Nunez and Diaz start to score goals, the EPL is in trouble. And Nunez has had a rough couple of weeks, and it's good to see him get on the score sheet with 2 quality finishes. But as a team, you're seeing a team that has moved on from the championship team from before, and you have a new team. Basically, you've got some players that are still in the spine of the team. So Alisson and Van Dijk and Trent Alexander and Mo Salah, but then you've got the new team coming through. So it's really exciting to see these players who are on the cusp of, I'm gonna say it, winning the Premiership. So I'm excited, and you never walk alone.
Don't slip up. Don't slip up.
Well, one thing he ain't got to worry about Manchester United right now.
I wasn't gonna say anything.
That's facts.
I wasn't gonna gloat or anything like that. I wasn't gonna say anything like Man U or anything like that.
It's all right. It's all right. It's all right.
But we're going to take our final commercial break. And when we come back, we're going to talk about the Bermudian players overseas. Actually, before you go, Mr. Wade, we have quite a few females playing over in the UK. Have quite a few males playing over in the UK. The opportunity to see the national program, because it benefits the national program, to see that grow from these guys getting these experiences overseas. What's your thoughts on the growth of that?
I mean, that was all part of the BFA's strategic plan, was to get our players overseas. Mm-hmm. So we've done that, and what we really need to do is get them playing at a higher level. Mm-hmm. They already come into the national program with just a bit more bite, bit more experience.
Right.
But now we need to get them playing at a higher level so that you can really start to compete with the El Salvadors and Honduras of the world. Mm-hmm. And it's good to see we've got males and females performing at a higher level in the UK, but we need to push that up. We need more people playing at Nakia Wells's level, for example.
Right.
More people playing at Leilani's level or Nia Crystal's level. So it's exciting. But like I said, we just want to get them playing at a higher level, and we always want them obviously to be available to play for the country.
Sure. Well, thank you very much, Mr. Wade. We'll be back to end the show with the wrap up of the Bermuda players. Have a good night, Mr. Wade. Thank you.
Night, everybody.
Thanks, buddy.
Over the pink sands, beneath the clear blue sky, where the ocean meets the land, and the long-tails fly in Bermuda. Our hearts belong to this beautiful island. As an island, we are strong, proudly Bermudian. In every single way, from the sunrise to the sunset, and every single day for over 135 years. It's been clear, Lady Silence for Leave Bermuda, bringing us near. Cause we are proudly Bermudian. Lady Silence proudly Bermudian.
New year, new Drop It. Lindo's is making it easier than ever to shop your way with our brand new Drop It website. Now with an upgraded online shopping experience, you can get your fresh groceries and convenient delivery with Drop It. Enjoy fast, reliable service wherever you are on the island. Lindo's, why go anyplace else?
putting down the weapons.
You seeing this?
And welcome back. Well, gentlemen, yesterday overseas, you had David Bascom win his 7th game out of 8 games with the Baltimore Blast. They defeated the Texas Outlaws 8-3. Deshaun Cooper, who we've spoken to, his Queens Park Rangers females, they bowed out of the Capital Cup, falling to Tottenham Hotspur's women in a penalty in kick from the penalty mark 5-4 after finishing 1-1. Kenny Thompson and her Bournemouth women's teammates, they won 3-0 over Maidenhead United in league play. Nathan Trott was in action for FC Copenhagen. He played in the second half of their 3-0 win over Lineby. Jair Parfitt's team over in Ireland, Glentoran, their match was called off after 15 minutes into the second half due to a power failure of the floodlights. So that match will have to really be replayed. Kiana Dill and her FC United of Manchester women's teammates, they suffered a 2-0 defeat at Salford City. Jasmine Spence and Newport, they drew 2-2 with Dutton and Bronton United. And Kashayla Birch-Waldron scored twice for Sutton United ladies in their 2-0 win over Badshot Lay FC. And then on Saturday, Sean Goda as the interim coach for Aston Villa's women. He's been there for 4 games, and he's yet to taste the defeat following his 1-1 draw with Everton. Aston Villa scored early, but then gave up a late goal to Everton and allowed them to get that draw on the road. Everton, Aston Villa were on the road. They have a, interesting enough, Juggler, they have a big one on Saturday coming up because Sean will face his former team in Manchester City. So it's going to be very interesting for him. We saw Nicky Wells and his Bristol City teammates go down 1-0 to Coventry City in Championship football. Razir Smith-Jones scored the winner for the Benfield team that also features Reece Jones Jr. and Courage Fubler, the PHC goalkeeper. They defeated Met Police 1-0. Kazai Martin and his Rushall Olympic teammates, they had a difficult day going down 4-0 to Spennymoor Town. We remember Spennymoor Town was a team that Dale Eve had played for previously a few seasons ago. Willie Clemens and his Felixstowe and Walton teammates, they edged a 5-goal thriller, defeating Sporting Bengal United 3-2, and that keeps Willie Clemens and his teammates on top of the Isthmian League North Division. Harry Twite and his Loughborough Students FC teammates, they suffered a 3-0 defeat at Dalston Town. Reggie Lamb and Needham Market, they drew 1-1 with Swanham Town. And of course, Dale Eve was not in the Alvo Church FC squad that secured a 3-2 victory. I remember Dale played last week. So there's been one-on, one-off things for him and Girl. And of course, Coho and his Chorley FC teammates shared the points in a 2-2 draw with Scunthorpe United. And Justin Donowa came off the bench to help Brackley Town earn a 1-0 win over Cruzen Ashton. Those were the players involved with teams over the weekend. Bristol City, Juggler, there's been a lot of talk, and will probably go on until the end of the deadline, that Naki may end up somewhere else in February.
I mean, you you must have known what I was thinking just now, man.
Hmm.
So I was about to ask you, was any word on his extending his contract? Because isn't he out of contract at the end of the season?
At the end of the season, yes. So
And being a mid-table team, I mean, no chance of them going down.
right.
But a mid-table team with older striker, and a new coach too, right?
Yes.
Yeah. What is their intentions of
Yeah.
bringing in players, or even if they have the money to bring in players?
Well, the thing is that there's been interest from other championship teams as well as a couple of Premier Division teams, who I guess the teams in the lower half of the division that are struggling scoring goals. They're looking for somebody who's more of a poacher, and secure a contract of some sort. Um, but it remains to be seen. The new coach has already indicated he doesn't want Nikita to go, but
Well,
ultimately it's up to the boardroom, isn't it?
yeah, I'll be honest with you. I mean, all of us, I guarantee probably all of us are. I mean, we're all biased, right? But I
Yeah.
will say, every time he's been able to go somewhere, he proves himself. So I'll bet on Naki any day, depending on how old he is, because everywhere he's been able to prove himself
Yeah.
as a goal scorer. When it's been given the opportunity, he's been able to put the ball away. So wherever he goes, or if he stays, I know that injury that Laszlo has been niggling him because it's been
Yeah.
on and off. But when he gets a good run in, he comes through.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not, and not only that, over the years now, knowing him as a penalty taker.
Yeah.
Probably the number one penalty taker for Bristol City.
Yeah.
Too, right? So it's not just a poacher. I mean, he's dead ball kicks and also a penalty taker. Some teams are looking for those players, period.
Right. Antoine, we have an abundance of girls playing. I know you was heavily involved in women's football when you was with the association. You see Kashela scoring twice. We see all these girls getting the opportunities to play over in the UK. Mark indicated about Leilani and Nia playing in the US at high levels. But when you were at the association, and this was kind of at the infancy stage of getting these girls overseas, what to see it now? What's your thoughts on that program?
Honestly, I leaps and bounds. Honestly, like the women's program, awesome. Nikita, Coach Kita, her staff, Coach Vance, like they're just are amazing. Don Vickers, like I can name them all. Coach Adams, like they're doing pretty good, and like I've always said, honestly, and I'm always going to continue saying, I feel that our women's team will be in the World Cup before our men. No disrespect to the men's team, but honestly, talents. When I say talent. I remember Nia Christopher. I think I remember my Cedar Bridge team. We took Nia Christopher to the Disney Cup. We didn't. To be honestly, we took Nia just to she was young. She was an S1, and we just took. We didn't know, but she one of our players got injured and she came in and we won that tournament because of her. So, so honestly, like Nia Christopher Leilani is just unbelievable talent, unbelievable. Like Nia and there's a lot of players that still and will be in the will make pro, same when the American side. I'm always talked about Danny Watson. The founder, I can't remember what her name is. She went Celtics. I can't remember what her name is. But no, she's that Howard.
Good child.
Good child.
Koa.
Yeah. Koa, good child. Like talent. Way up. That's another one.
Mara.
Mara, yes. Actually, another person I haven't really heard of. I don't know what she's doing. I don't know if she's still playing football or concentrate on refereeing. Is Cabral, Emily.
Emily, she's injured.
She's injured. Okay, she's injured.
Yeah.
So honestly, it's leaps and bounds. Like I said, I can name them all. It's like that I've seen that has come through this Bermuda ranks and have
yeah. You have the likes of Aaliyah Nerlin playing for Bradford City. They didn't play yesterday. You have Zakaya Turner playing for Riverdale. So there's other girls still playing that didn't play this weekend. Even Eva Frazzoni, she wasn't in the team this weekend. There's an abundance of players out there, taking that opportunity to play at a different level and in a different environment. And I mean, we've all watched over the last few weeks juggled with the weather. If the coach said go outside and play on that's like playing on the causeway, man. You get that ground, you're gonna feel it. Frozen pitches.
Yeah. But no, them girls are absolutely amazing. Amazing.
All right, well, gentlemen, we'll be back next week, Monday. The new man will have a weekend. We'll see what craft he's got up his sleeve. More entertainment for 4 years after today's inauguration. So
I know this. I want to have shown that. I know it's probably a little late for him. Probably 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning. But yeah, I don't know.
We actually, Sean and I discussed that. It's just the timing is not the best timing.
Like Sean do that and basketball at the same time.
Boy, that's full of laughs. That's full of laughs. Yeah, that's full of laughs.
Well, what can do, and that's something we probably have to just try to arrange it. Just try to have a recorded show or recorded.
Yeah. We discussed that as well. He really doesn't want to do anything until what I was decided by the club, because right now he's still interim. So. Yeah, we do have a plan somewhat in place, so we'll see how it goes. All right?
Can't wait.
Huh?
Can't wait. Can't wait.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll be back next week, Monday, with another edition of the EPL and Bermudians Overseas Football Show here on IslandStats.com. Gentlemen, thank you very much for joining me. I'll see you next week.
Good night, guys.
Good night, guys.
All right.